Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Last Word Sports. Um, it's a tough day for Jags fans. A couple hours ago, they announced Travis Hunter would be going on IR and be missing at least the next 4 games, but it would not surprise me if it's longer. Um, it's kind of like with Brenton Strange, how we kind of said it was, if it had been shorter than 4 weeks, would they really put him on IR? So that kind of tells me it's comfortably 4 weeks because generally, if it's thought to be 4 weeks or more and it's a guy that you don't care that much about, and you're kind of like, we'll take him back whenever he gets healthy, you put him on IR and that's fine. But for guys that are um, key to teams, like Lamar for the Ravens, I think he missed like 4 games. For those players, they're they're not going to put them on IR on the chance that they get back slightly quicker than 4 weeks. And the Jags didn't do that for Brenton Strange. And to be honest, I don't know where he's at in his recovery, but I haven't heard that he's ready to go. Not for Raiders because he has to miss this one, but the next week, is he going to be ready? I haven't really seen if he's even practiced yet. And so looking at Travis Hunter, what are we, 8 games in, 7 games, 7 games in, and I mean maybe by week 13, you know, get the last few. Um, it sucks because we have been clamoring all year for, make Travis the center of the offense. Well, we wanted BTJ to be the center and have Travis as the number 2 receiver and number 1 corner. But then BTJ has sucked, like legitimately sucked this year. He can't catch a cold. And so it put us in a predicament where we're like, okay, where are we going to get offense from? And it took Liam a little bit longer than I would have liked. We've been calling this for weeks, but we said, get the ball to Travis Hunter, get him the ball, because when he gets the ball, he makes things happen. And after the Rams debauchery that horrendous showing in London, like what an absolute joke. What an absolute joke. Like that was the Jaguars that we know. Everything's still the same. That it was an absolute joke by everybody. Offense, I'll be honest. Defense, I'm not too mad at defense. People can blame them for giving up all those points. Yeah, sure, it's not great, but you know what? That offense needs to be scoring more than 7 points. I don't care. Even if I mean, it's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And Cohen, that's on Cohen too. I mean, I'm a Cohen guy. I really am. But he's had some questionable decisions. Anyway, um, after that game, they had used Travis Hunter more when they had to. Like when it was away and they had to figure out how to get offense going, they used Travis Hunter more. And now we're thinking, all right, finally, just give him the ball. Let's run the offense through him, make him the one wide receiver, and you know what? Just shore up the defense, make him the number 1 corner. And it sounded like, to be honest, they've been saying for weeks since the Chiefs game, they said we're gonna get Travis Hunter more down the field, and they hadn't. So for them to say like, oh, we are, you're probably going to see more Travis Hunter on offense and defense this week. And everybody was saying like, okay, he's going to play 100% snaps. About time. To be honest, I don't know if they would because they've been saying stuff like that all year and it has been happening. So I don't know if he was going to be doing that. I think they would have definitely been ramping him up in the sense of number 1 wide receiver looks, first read looks down the field. But I don't know if he still would have gotten the amount of targets that we want. So anyway, he's hurt now, so he's out for the next 4 games. It sucks. It really does suck. It's after the bye week, but then you have to like say, what are you gonna do about it? And this is what really separates, in my opinion, a good coach from an okay coach. Um, I mean, looking at this team and where Cohen's from, Cohen's been in a situation where his team has lost its quarterback. He was the offense coordinator for the Rams when Matthew Stafford got hurt. That offense sucked. Um, but he saw firsthand like, okay, you got to do ways to manufacture offense when your quarterback's hurt. And then he goes to the Buccaneers, and he sees similar situation but with wide receivers. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans went down, and he had to look around and say, where am I going to get offense from? And he decided, this was after like 4 weeks into the season, something like that. And he has, in an interview, talked about this. He's like, I sat down and I said, we got to figure out how to get offense going with these injuries. And he said, we're going to have to play different. And so he got Cade Otton involved more. That's when Bucky Irving ascended. Bucky Irving was not doing much until these injuries where it kind of forced him to run the ball more. And that's when Bucky Irving exploded. You saw guys like, what's that guy's name? Not McLaughlin. Jalen McMillan on the Buccaneers ascend and take a role. But they used a lot more two tight end sets. They did things, and they became a run heavy offense. I've been clamoring for the past weeks that we need to just do that, because Trevor needs everything perfect to play well, it seems. And I don't want the identity of a team with a quarterback like that to be throwing the ball. I would rather have Trevor in as a game manager right now, because he's not a gunslinger. And it seems like even when we were first in rushing, like the first few weeks, they said like, oh, Jaguars have the first rushing offense in the NFL. And it kind of felt like, yeah, but like we honestly should have been like even more so, because we weren't committing to it. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it seemed like, you get a run and then it's play action. Or you're running the ball down their throats, and then the next set of downs, you play action, incomplete, and then a drop back pass, sack or incomplete, and then third down, you're screwed. And it just seemed like, why can't we just commit to just being a running team? Like, it seems like Cohen likes to have running as a possibility, but to him, it's a means to an end. He doesn't want to become a running team. He wants to be a passing team that can run or uses the run to pass. And you guys might say, like, well, obviously you want to do that. And I get, like, yeah, obviously you want to use the run to create play action pass. But how, like, the last two games, last two games, people have been saying, like, why did they stop running? And I know the blowout against the Rams, obviously you stopped running in the second half because, you sucked. But you need to start running the ball. The offensive line needs to get better. And you're going to have to trust it and just be like, we're just going to bully guys. That's what we got to do. And I would go out there with Hunter Long, Johnny Munt, or Quentin Morris. And when Brenton Strange gets back, just go out there with Hunter Long and Brenton Strange and have maybe like Washington and BTJ, or Patrick and BTJ, and or what we might even see is what he did with Tampa Bay, where he had two running back sets with Rachaad White and Bucky Irving. I want to see ETN out there along with Tootin. I think that is a very interesting look that, it keeps defenses guessing a little bit, like, where are they going to go with the ball? ETN has even shown the ability to line up outside. I don't want him playing receiver. I don't want him playing slot receiver like Urban did. But I think having that variety in your offense is going to allow them to find offense in this time without Travis Hunter. So that's what you got to do. Another thing is BJ has to step up. I mean, listen, if you wanted any more of a shot to prove that you're the guy, this is it. This is it. And I think right now it's infuriating. It is. I know it is. It's ridiculous that he's struggling with drops as much as he is. And I hate to say it, but we're just going to have to keep feeding him, because his talent is undeniable. He has the talent to be a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. It's undeniable. But he can't catch the dang ball. And if he can get through this, maybe this Travis Hunter injury could be a blessing in disguise. I really don't want to talk like that. I get how that can be controversial, but I'm trying to just say, like, maybe this forces BTJ into being the BTJ he was last year when there was no one else on the roster to catch the ball besides him. This year we had the luxury of having Brenton Strange a few games. We had Travis Hunter alongside BTJ, Diami Brown. Now it's time for BTJ to be the alpha. There's nobody, coming for a spot, whatever you want to talk about. It's time for him to take up the baton and go. And so I say you force feed him, give him bubble screens, make him go across the middle. He's gotta catch something across the middle. You can't just shy away from that. Offensive line has played better. So I really do think that this is an opportunity. Like, if you get Travis Hunter back by like week 13, whatever, 13, 14, and you get 3 games with him, the Jaguars offense might be in a better spot. We might have already rounded out ourselves in the sense of running the ball. Like, are we now a physical run team when he gets back? That BTJ is on a rant. He's going on a turn. I don't know what the word. He's a tear. I don't know. A tear. That's what I'm saying. He's going on a tear, and he's just back to BTJ who he is, and then we get Travis Hunter back. Like this, that's the best case scenario, is where we use this opportunity to grow and develop the parts of our offense that we weren't paying attention to because we wanted to get the ball to Travis Hunter and BTJ. And now, without Travis Hunter, we are able to focus on these areas to improve and become an overall well-rounded offense. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is this is the same team that we've been watching for the last few weeks, and they suck. And even worse because they don't even have Travis Hunter to take a 5-yard pass 25 yards down the field. That's also possible. If we come out here and lose to the Raiders, trade anyone, trade everyone. I don't care what you want to do. I don't know how you would come out here and lose to the Raiders, but if they do that, get rid of Armstead, get rid of Josh Allen. If you can find buyers for Greg Newsome, do it. BTJ. Trevor even. I mean, heck, if somebody offers like 2 firsts for Trevor, I'd take that. I mean, whatever. Yeah. So that's the worst case scenario. And where are we going to end up? Probably somewhere in the middle. There's probably going to be something where, the run game doesn't get going, but BTJ maybe starts picking it up. And by the time Travis Hunter shows up, we're about like 500, maybe slightly up than that. And where everybody's saying, almost like the Rashee Rice thing, where they're like, "Oh, don't worry, Travis Hunter's coming back. In 2 weeks, the offense is gonna look so much better." And then it looks pretty much the same. It's hard to jump back in after that many weeks off. So that's what I think will happen. But again, let's hope for the best case scenario, and the offense just elevates entirely. And just like with the Buccaneers, when Mike Evans and Chris Godwin came back, it went to another level. Maybe when Travis Hunter comes back, we go to another level. That's the hope that we can keep feeding ourselves. But I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's the hope. That's the hope. Now, in this time, what do? I think if we beat the Raiders, and here's the thing, people saying like we're going to be buyers or sellers, depending on how we play against the Raiders, I think that is absolutely stupid. If you don't know for sure that you're going to beat the Raiders and you're basing how much of a run you're going to make off of that game, I think you should already be sellers, because that tells me you don't believe in your team, honestly. So, but let's go with me here. Let's say we win and we're buyers. Who would we trade for? I actually said last time that I think Dexter Lawrence would be too expensive. I went and looked, and he's actually cheaper than Quinn Williams by like $2 million or something like that. So I take that back. My bad. I wouldn't be opposed to Dexter Lawrence. He doesn't seem to be happy in New York. Can they do that? I don't know. You can probably figure out something. Besides that, I think Malik Collins on the Browns defensive line has been having an outstanding year. He's 30 years old, I think. So he's not young, but he's like actually having one of the best pass rushing seasons for a defensive tackle right now. So I'd be interested in him. Calais is another name. Zach Sealer from the Dolphins is on a decent contract, and I know he's not having a great year, but like who on the Dolphins is, and they just fired their GM, so it sounds like they're gonna have a fire sale. And if that's the case, I mean, Sure, go get me a Zach Sealer, and I'll take that. And I think that would also help Josh Allen. So those are some guys. Quinn Williams would be good, but they're asking for a king's ransom for him apparently, and I'm not. I don't want to give up anything more than a second. I don't even want to give up a second. I'd rather get guy like we have like 3/3 and 3/4. Just give up a 3 and a 4 for like get a defensive tackle for a third or a fourth, and get maybe a wide receiver for the other one. Now let's go to the wide receivers because I don't know. I really don't know where you can go with this. And people talking about Jacoby Myers. I don't know what his contract is like. I think a big part of this, though, is you don't want a guy that is going to be on your team for the next 3 years. And you're like, that doesn't make any sense, Ben. But here's the reason why, is because you have Travis Hunter coming back. You don't want a guy who's going to be, coming in and taking up a lot of your cap for the next 2 years. Like, look at Diami Brown. He's on this 1 year contract to earn a bigger one next year. He's not earning a bigger one next year. But in that case, I think I saw he's on Jacoby Myers on a 3 year, $33 million contract. Okay, I'm cool with this. Jacoby Myers' contract expires after this year, so that'd be a good pickup. I would not mind that. I would like that. It's not that expensive. I think it's like $11 million. So yeah, if you can get me Jacoby Myers and Malik, what did I just say his name is? Malik Collins. Like, I'm cool with that. I think there's other guys that you can look at too. Underrated guy. I don't know if they'd even trade him, but Andre Yosevas on the Bengals. He just seems to be a playmaker. Honestly, I think he's doing more for them than T. Higgins, and you might be like, heresy. But he just seems to be doing that. Another guy, Ravens, Rashad Bateman. That one is a little. I don't think he's great separating against man coverage. So take that for what you will. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's other guys out there. Chris Olave, I think, would be too expensive. Rashid Shaheed would be interesting to me. Rashid Shaheed he's a deep ball guy in New Orleans, very fast. I think he's almost like Diami Brown, though, to be honest. But I think he's more sure-handed, I think, than our guys. So I would be interested in Rashid Shaheed. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of Jordan Addison would cost a lot too, I think. DJ Moore probably, and his contract is ridiculous. I don't want that. Christian Watson, maybe if the Packers are kind of done with him, I'd be interested in that. Even though he's had his fair share of drop problems and injury, but he's coming back, and I'd be interested in that. 'Cause they have Dobbs. They have who's the guy from Michigan State? They have Dobbs. They have Jaden Reed and Matthew Golden. So there's kind of an odd man out there. So yeah, I think you can find wide receivers out there, but it's all about. I think a lot of people need wide receivers right now. The Steelers need one so badly. So it's not like nobody wants a wide receiver and there's a bunch out there. So basically what I'm saying is don't give up the farm for a defensive tackle, and don't trade for a wide receiver that's going to be stuck on your team for the next 3 years and breaking your cap. That's my thing. Do I think we beat the Raiders? I do. If we don't, season's over. Jags suck, and they always will if they lose to the Raiders. So, with that being said, my predictions, I think I said like 27-17 Jags beat the Raiders. I think Brock Bowers is coming back, so he'll probably kill us, get a touchdown. Gentee will probably have a touchdown, especially with how bad we tackle. I mean, I don't know what happened the first few weeks. We were amazing at tackling, and now we can't tackle anyone. So yeah, if you guys just, it sucks about the Travis Hunter. Let's hope this just forces BTJ and Trevor to grow, and Brenton Strange can't come back soon enough. Defensively, I think we'll be okay though. Greg Newsome, I think he'll be fine, to be honest. I think Greg Newsome's going to go on a tear the last half of the season because it is a contract year for him. If he doesn't, you're probably going to be able to keep him at a decent rate. But if he goes off, he's probably going to go elsewhere and earn a big contract. So that's my thoughts on the whole Travis Hunter situation, as well as the Raiders game. And yeah, let me know if I missed any wide receivers that you're like, but what about this guy? What about, let me know about that because I'd like to know. So, all right, catch you guys later.